to today's tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to draw and paint Milan. So we're just going to get started here. I have my watercolor sketch pencil and my Faber-Castell eraser. And we're just going to get started out making the sketch. Okay, so now I've just got my fine liner. This is a pigment liner by Art Studios and it's water resistant because we're going to be watercoloring this later on. And we're just going to go around all the pencil lines and I'm just going to get started by drawing her side and her belt around her pants, which is just two rectangle oval shapes, and her legs. And now I'm just finishing off drawing her top. It's a love heart shape, and now just starting on her arm and her hands. And now we're working on her shoulders and her necklace. And doing her other arm. I will be having a video out soon on how to draw hands, so do make sure you hit the subscribe button so you are updated with that one. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you don't miss out. And those buttons are down below this video. And now I'm just working on her hair and her neck and her head. And just the top part of her hair. And now I'm just going to draw in her eyes, which are just two oval shapes. Now I am just drawing in her eyebrows, which are just two long rectangles. And like I said before, I think in shapes when I'm drawing because that is how I learned to draw. And just fixing up the top part of her fringe. And up the top there, I'm drawing her jewel in her hair on the bun. Now I am going to draw in her lips. Now that we've finished doing the sketching, I just grabbed up my watercolors and my Polina Bright watercolor brush, and I am just mixing in a cobalt blue with a white to make it a little bit lighter for her outfit. And I've used other water here so that it's a little bit more transparent so that it appears lighter on the paper. Then for the darker areas, I'm just using less water. And I'm going to use the same on her pants. And again on her jewel as well. And I'm also going to use it as a undercoat for her hair. So that when I paint her hair in her actual hair color, it will have a bit of a blue tint underneath. Okay, so now I'm going to do the top part of the hair, then I'm going to let the hair dry. Okay, so we're going to let the hair dry, and then like I said, we'll go over it in a black. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and do the gold. So just to go around the necklace, the earrings, and her brooch up the top for the headband. I'm going to use the Gunside gem color sets. I'm going to use the yellow gold, which is just this one here. Okay, so I'm going to switch brushes because I need to find a brush for her gem. So I'm going to switch over to my Winsor Newton Cotman. So I'm going to try this angle brush here. So it's a Winsor Newton Cotman angle brush. It's got a very fine tip. And I'm just going to dip it into my water. And then into the gold here. And I'm just going to go around the edge of this one. And again for her necklace. Just gonna get started here doing her necklace and let go from the Gunside Tumbling watercolor set. And what's great about these paints is they have a bit of a sparkle to them, kind of like glittery effect. So it will give a bit of shimmer to the painting. Okay, now I'll just go to the earring, just with the same gold. And again with the other earring. Okay, now that I've done the gold and the hair has dried, I'm gonna go over her hair with a black. So just going to clean my brush, and I'm going to use this brush again that I use for the blue. Clean water, and I'm going to use my Winsor Newton watercolor Cotman black. So I'm just using the size 0 brush for the time being, then I'm going to switch over to a smaller one to do the blending and finer details. But for these larger areas, I want to use the size 0. Who is your favorite Disney princess? Let me know down in the comments below. My favorite is Belle. I just love the way she looks and I love her personality. And who doesn't like books? So I'm just going around in circle motions to do the blending. So I'm just going to do her eyebrows. So I'm going to let her hair dry, and I might go over a little bit more later on. But now I'm just going to grab the skin tones for her skin. So this is a watercolor set by well, and what it is, it's called complexion. It's called complexion, and it's a special watercolor set dedicated to skin colors. So we're just gonna go ahead and open this up, and it comes in this little container here. With your paper swatches, and these are all your skin tones. So I'm just gonna go start on the skin. I'm just gonna get started doing her skin tone, and I'm using circular motion for the blending and back and forth brush strokes as usual. So I'm just using less water where I want lighter areas and more water when I want darker areas. So I just did a little bit of a over the eyebrow there. Don't worry about it, I will back over her eyebrow when I'm finished, and I'll fix it up with another layer. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a little, and then I'm going to go over with a bit of a lighter color. So I'm going to use this one here, which is number 31, and it is Peach Cobbler. So I just got that same angle brush that we used earlier, and I'm going to use it to do her lips, just in a red. So just grab me some clean water, and grab me the red from my Winsor Newton watercolor set. Actually, this isn't okay, so this isn't the angle brush, this is just a round brush, and it's a 1x1. And we're just gonna do the lips. Okay, so we're just gonna clean my brush. And I'm going to grab my size 0 again. And with this lighter skin color here, I'm just going to go around and do some lighter skin tones. So dipping the brush into the clean water and then picking up this lighter skin tone. And I'm just going to start off with a bit of her leg. And here is our finished painting. I went back in with a black liner after the painting was dry to do her eyes, and I coloured in her eyes as well after that. And I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a comment below what you would like to see next. Don't forget to check out the description box, there's lots of information on there, and also please stick around to check out the end card where there will be a playlist that's appropriate for you to watch. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell notification button so you're notified of all my videos, and so that you don't miss out. I shall see you next time. Bye bye, thanks for watching.